Hi, guys. Welcome, 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 welcome. This is a celebration episode. Okay.
Yes.
Um, I'm celebrating streaming for 1 year. I streamed my first episode of this show a year ago today.
Wow.
Okay. So hello, my name is Asia. Welcome to episode 42, I think, of My Thoughts No One Asked For, where I share my thoughts none of you asked for, probably even care about, but I'm going to share them any motherfucking way. And I have a special guest. Can you introduce yourself, friend?
Hi, guys. My name is Adrian Jstn, and I also have thoughts that nobody asked for. So,
Yes. And there are thoughts that you guys are gonna want to hear. This is gonna be a classic episode. I'm calling it now. Okay.
yes.
We're gonna have great conversation. Hey Chad, I literally just started my live just now, so you're on time. This is gonna be great. A great episode, with this episode being a celebration episode of me streaming, specifically this show for a year. Um, this episode is gonna be centered around like motivation and just uplifting and just all things positive energy. So hopefully, not even hopefully, a lot of you guys will feel very motivated and hopefully a lot of the conversations we have will help you guys think. Okay.
Yes.
But really quick before we get into our first commercial break and then start into the show, week recap. How was your week? Tell me what was your week like?
This has actually been like a beautiful week. It's been like I've been feeling very light this week.
Nice.
Been in the gym every day this week, which has been great. Just a great way to start my morning and clear my mind is going to the gym, stretching, working out, getting my body involved. And that helps me get out of my head.
Yeah.
So honestly, it's been a fantastic week. How has your week been?
That's great to hear. I have had a pretty good week too. I've been feeling, I was gonna say relaxed, and that's kind of a lie. I mean, I started off kind of like feeling kind of anxious about stuff, not feeling too great. And then, I gave myself like a day to feel bothered about it, and then I moved on. um, but I did upload. I filmed my streaming university application video. What's today? Thursday. I filmed it Tuesday, I think. Yeah, I filmed it like all pretty much all night Tuesday. And when I seen him drop the trailer on Monday, I was like, "Oh shit, I need to make my video and upload it." So yeah, I finished that. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you've seen it. If you have not seen it, go follow me on literally any platform and go watch it. Please and thank you. I would play it on here, but it's pretty lengthy. Okay. But yes, please go watch it on at It's Your Girl Asia on my Instagram or my TikTok. Please and thank you. But yeah, that's pretty much what I did. Just my streamer you. I was like, it is streamer you day. I need to get my shit uploaded. And I really enjoyed my application video. It's very me. It was very like it was very me. So I really enjoyed that. And yeah, guys, wish me luck on streamer you. And congratulations to like anybody who has posted their videos and stuff. I've seen a lot of great application videos. Like y'all are eating it up. So I love that. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and play my first commercial break, and then we're gonna get into the show. Don't go anywhere, please and thank you. If you're enjoying the show so far, I need you to do a couple things for me. If you want to give your input on show topics, network with other young creatives, and even just be a part of the episode, join the Discord. I want this show to feel very interactive because it's not just a platform for me to share my thoughts, but also for you to share yours. And just in case you missed the episodes live on Thursday nights, make sure you subscribe to the My Thoughts No One Asks For YouTube channel. Obviously, the VODs don't stay up here on Twitch forever, so make sure you catch up on all episodes on YouTube. And of course, follow the Twitch. I won't just be streaming once a week for the show, but I also have a lot of concept streams coming very soon. So make sure you follow the Twitch and turn those notifications on. Please and thank you. Hello, hello, guys. We are back.
We are
Um,
back.
Hi, go. You watched my new house video? Oh my gosh, that was like so old. That's not even on my YouTube anymore. Dang. What would you do if you was Oh no, I'm not reading that. Anyway, people playing on my TikTok chat.
Oh, Lord.
Anyways, hi guys. So, here's what I wanted to talk about first. So oh, you're an OG subscriber. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that video is so old, it's not even on my page. Thank you for, like, sticking with me and still being here. I appreciate you. I stream now. And I still have my YouTube, but it's, like, different and better, so
That's
thank
real
you.
love.
Um, so I wanna talk about, like, having a very colorful imagination, right? As someone who is, like, very confident in myself, we both are. We are very secure, and we know what we're capable of, and we're confident in our talent and all of our abilities, and I think it's like, people often say in order to be successful, you do have to be a little bit delusional. I would prefer to just say, like, have a colorful imagination, right? I always talk about how important it is to still have that, like, childlike mindset to
Yes.
where you kinda look at the life as, "Oh, the sky is the limit. You can do anything you want to. You can be anything you
Yes.
wanna be." And I think even as an adult, you should still have that mindset so you don't limit yourself. Um, and so I wanna ask you first, 'cause I know you've been like that for a while, but
Yes.
kinda talk about how you've been able to maintain it over the years of just not even, because even with, things happening in the world and people feeling discouraged and feeling like, "Oh, well, I shouldn't shoot that high. I shouldn't do this. Oh, thank you for the gift. I shouldn't, aim to for this type of accomplishment because it's just too far to reach or all this stuff is happening in the world. So why? What's the point?"
That part.
How have you been able to like maintain that confidence and motivation and having that full colorful imagination for all throughout the years you've existed on this earth?
I really think honestly I just got it back. Um it was something I was born with. I've always been just a very confident person in myself, in my creativity, in my artistry. I've always just since my youth known myself and I've always trusted myself and my confidence. But I as I got older and my gift and my personality was exposed to different spaces, people saw that and wanted to diminish my light and make me
Mhm.
feel less than because they were uncomfortable with how bright that light is. And I fell into some of those traps for some time. I started to allow myself to live in the boxes that people were creating for me. And it really diminished that light and it
Mm.
diminished my imagination for, I say, maybe like a year or 2. But,
Damn.
um, like the last year, I've really fallen back into myself, my confidence, my imagination, and who I am, who I'm becoming, and who I trust myself to be. And I've been able to sustain that by fully living in my authenticity no matter who I'm with, no matter who doesn't like it, no matter what room I'm in, no matter how uncomfortable it feels, just always being myself. And knowing that God has given me a gift for a reason. God has given me all that I am, and He's created me to be all that I am for a reason. And also being playful, having fun. Like
Yes.
creativity is born from playfulness, allowing yourself to play and see where you can expand and grow in your mind and in your spirit. And so just being playful and doing things for fun has really just allowed me to, break those shackles and be free.
Nice. I love that. Oh my gosh. I love hearing him talk. If you sound like he's like preaching sometimes. I love it.
Thank
Um
you. What about you?
I see you like you said how you kind of have always been like that and then you just had to get it back. I feel like I never really had that confidence, to be honest. Hey Nick, we're talking about um how we're able to maintain confidence in our abilities and in our talent all throughout, the time we've been pursuing them. Um, I don't I've never really been super confident all throughout school. Like, 'cause I was in theater, middle school, high school, all that stuff. I've always been super
Which is how we met.
yes, which is how we met. I've also been, I've always been interested in creativity since I was a child.
Okay.
I've always had very big I used to wanna be like an actress. I used to, like, write songs, and I would record them. I taught myself how to edit videos. I've always been very all over the place, and I never really had a very clear vision about anything until I was, like, I don't know, maybe, like, 22. I'm 23 now, so I don't know, just, like, literally within the last 2 years, I have found that true boost of confidence. I think for me, how I found it though, was actually making sure that what I was putting out creatively truly reflected who I was,
Mm.
and I think that that was hard for me to do until I actually discovered who I was. Like,
Right.
I was how he just referenced a guy in my chat, he just referenced a video, um, that I had on my YouTube years ago. It's not even still up there. That era of me doing content was doing shit to trend, right? It was, like, trendy stuff.
Right.
So, it was, like, a house tours and mukbangs and all this stuff and vlogging my birthdays. And is all that stuff fun to watch? Yes, we all grew up watching that stuff, but knowing that I have a creative mind, knowing that I like to tell stories, knowing that I like filmmaking, knowing that I like sitting down and motivating and inspiring and uplifting people, knowing that I'm tapped into so many different things that I want to actually involve myself in. Why am I not doing that?
Yes.
Why am I not actually doing what I'm really passionate about the way I'm supposed to do it? And it took me so long to like I've done multiple rebrands. And so I built up a Instagram with like 20K followers on some influencer shit. Like doing like modeling and all that stuff. And was it cool? Was it fun? Was I running up views and doing all this stuff? Absolutely. Was it 'cause it was easy. It was easy, it was trendy, it was, like, simple, but it wasn't I don't wanna do this model shit. I kept doing it for so long, I'm like, "I don't give a damn about, like, modeling for these clothing brands and doing all this stuff. This isn't what I wanna do. I'm more than a pretty face, like, this shit is lame." And once I feel like that for me is how I truly found it, found that childlike perspective and just confidence of like, "I can do this because I have been doing it for so long, so why not do things at my fullest potential or with a whole lot of effort instead of just, like, doing shit to just fit into trends or do what I feel like I have to do." So, yeah, I feel like I'm just now
Finding that space.
yeah, it's really, really weird to say, but, um it takes a like I said, me finding myself, it takes a lot of inner work. It
Yes.
takes a lot of inner work to actually find out who you are and understand that in order for your art to reflect it beautifully.
Exactly.
So now when you go on any of my pages and you see my content that I have out, it reflects who I am today. I feel 100% secure and confident about it. I don't feel embarrassed. I don't feel ashamed about anything. What I have out is me, and it feels natural, authentic, and organic, and I didn't feel like that before from doing content for so long.
And it shows, like, it shows when you are doing something and you're living in your authenticity, and what you are doing is genuinely who you are and is aligned with who you are and who you're becoming. It shows, and then it also
Yes.
shows in the opposite way when you are doing something that is not aligned with you and you're literally just doing it for the influencer shit and the likes and the views. That shit fades. Wait,
Yes.
can we cuss on here?
Yes, you can, of course. Yes.
But it goes in and out. But like what you're doing now, this is so you. Like it's so you
Yeah.
and it's so beautiful. And even when you're living in your authenticity, you have more space to grow because it's authentically you, and you are ever growing and ever changing and ever evolving. So your work will do the same.
Mhm. And people will appreciate that. People
Exactly.
will be on for the journey, and they'll be like, "Oh, I remember when Angel setup was looking like this, or she was doing this, doing that," just like how he did in my chat. Like, that was
Yes.
a long time ago. So, yeah, I appreciate the fact that I'm finally operating at that frequency now where, like, I'm
Yes.
like, "Y'all can't really tell me shit." And I
Right.
have the work to prove it. But kind of transitioning into the second part of this conversation, right?
Yes.
Um something I've been struggling with actually since I've started streaming because me even wanting to really be very consistent with content creating and taking it seriously is me not liking a lot of the stuff that I've seen in content and me like seeing a lot of things that's wrong with the content world. I remember I was venting about it on Instagram like years ago and I was like, "Bro, can y'all stop doing get ready with me?" He's like, "Can we do something else?" Like, let's do something else. Like, y'all doing get ready with me, y'all are doing all of this like trendy stuff. Everybody's making copy and paste content. Let's do something else. Yes. So now with me like really stepping into that confidence of knowing that I'm more creative than a lot of these people who
Most
do
of
this
them.
shit, most of them, even bigger ones that I produce better content than a lot of these people.
Yeah.
Um, I wanna voice my opinions about certain things, but I feel like, "Oh, because I don't have the numbers yet, because I don't have the analytics yet," right?
Yeah.
I feel like hesitant to speak up on certain stuff. Doesn't mean that I don't. I do sometimes. You can go back to plenty of my episodes where I still pop my shit, right?
Mhm.
Because I know that it'll age well. But yeah, sometimes I feel like, damn, I can't express a certain opinion about streaming or content because if certain people don't like what I say, they're going to point the finger and be like, "Oh, but what about you? What about you? What are you doing?" And it's like, "Well, I have my product is top tier. I don't have the platform yet. Once I do get there, once I do get the numbers and the analytics to back up what I'm saying, then what are you gonna say?" You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the issue that I've been having for the past few years, especially within the last couple of months of like, I wanna say so much shit, but I just feel like certain people are gonna be like, try to discredit what I'm saying because I don't have the analytics to back it up. And it's like, I don't know. I don't really know how to deal with that. I feel like I'm still going to speak my mind, but I'm not always gonna I'm still gonna, like, be careful with my wording, I guess, because I really don't wanna come across like an arrogant asshole. That is my one thing. Like, I do not ever wanna act like walk around and people think that I'm this cocky bitch and I think I'm better than them and I make, like, better content and I just know what I'm talking about. I never wanna come across that way at all. So that's why I'm trying to be careful and work on my delivery when I speak on certain things like that instead of being too, like, bashful or trying to dismiss so many people and what they put out. Because even if I don't like what some people make, a lot of people will do, and they paying for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we can all shit on everybody's content or even with music, it's the same thing. So it's like, everyone can have an opinion.
Exactly.
But yeah, how do you feel about that whole, like, still having you still having the knowledge and truly, like, experience in the field to where you do have the credibility to speak on it or
Correct.
to, like, express your opinion. However, that success or that other side of it that's supposed to reflect that opinion, if it's not, at least in other people's eyes, or if it's not there yet, how do you kinda, like, navigate that when you're speaking on certain things?
The way I see it, the conversations that change the world are 9 times out of 10 the conversations that nobody will ever hear.
Mhm.
And I understand that if I know that I have the experience and I've been in the situations that have given me the knowledge and the wisdom and the lessons, I'm not going to concern myself with people who have not spent a day, a year, a week in like I'm in these rooms.
Yes.
I'm in these rooms. I've been in these rooms, and the people who are creating these rooms, the people who are producing these rooms, the people who are directing these rooms, they have my number and they know to call. I'm not concerned with you. You don't even create any kind of space that I would step into. I create these spaces, and the people who do create these spaces know that my knowledge, my wisdom is worthy of me being in that space. And so I speak on what I know because it's backed up not only by me, but by the people who know me and the people who trust me. You brought me here to this space because you know me. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And you know my word. You know that my opinion and my wisdom is valuable. And so I think it's really more about separating from, okay, I have this thought, I have this feeling, I have all of these feelings that I know I have the experience to share, and maybe they won't like it. Okay, everybody's not meant to like everything, but
True.
there may be one person who needs to hear exactly what you have to say.
Yes.
And just because you say it, it could change the entire trajectory of their life. And that's worth it. Even if it's just one person, it's worth the one person, rather than the 10 people who may have, you know, stipulations with what you have to say.
Yes, I love that. I feel like that was worded very well. Cause like you said, like, everybody don't gotta like everything you say anyway, so
They don't, and most people don't
Mhm.
understand, like, you're not you're like I said earlier, you're just not in these spaces. We have when Beyoncé is not trying to get people to understand her thought process. She's just living in her thought process,
Yeah.
regardless of the thousands of people daily who talk shit about Beyonce's thought process, who talk shit about what Beyonce does and why she does it. She's not trying to over articulate or over explain herself.
Mhm.
She knows that her staff and the people who value her and her gift understand. And it's a like it's like music theory. It's like music. Well, I'm a musician, so I I relate everything to music, but genuinely it's like some people have the ear to understand minor notes
Mhm.
and some people don't. Some people can go to a jazz concert and understand all that is going on and hear all the chord changes and understand all the chord changes. Some people, because you know music and you have the ear. Some people just literally do not have the ear for music, but we're not gonna stop our fucking jazz concert with the trombone and the saxophone and the drums playing to explain to you how this is going to work. No, you're
Exactly.
just gonna sit there. You're either gonna choose to learn or you're gonna shut the fuck up and listen. Or you can leave. It's completely up
That's
to you.
such a perfect analogy because even in Atlanta, right? For us, it's just certain shit that you cannot make me feel like, "Oh, because I don't have this or my career isn't at this level yet that I am not allowed to speak on it." Nigga, do you know where I live? Do you know who lives here? Do you know even in content, this is like Atlanta is like content land,
Yes.
actually, honestly.
Yes, it
And
is.
it also is, people call us like the Black Hollywood and stuff like that.
Yes,
So
yes.
all of the a lot of these celebrities and entertainers and personalities, they either live here or they at least have a home here, all right?
Exactly.
These are people that you will run into in the mall, on the fucking street, in a store downtown.
You're in Atlanta for something.
Like, so all of these people are here. Also, so plus,
Yeah.
we either know someone who knows them, who knows these people,
Right.
right? So they're not that far to reach or get in contact with, right?
Exactly.
So we know someone who related to somebody, who worked with somebody, who just knows somebody that knows somebody, right?
Right.
Then you can even get in contact with those type of people directly. You can build relationships with them, or you can build relationships with certain people who's involved in the same world that you are, who has experienced more, that can help you, that can coach you, that can
Exactly.
give you opportunities.
Exactly.
With me living in this city and doing the unnecessary amount of networking that I've done, unintentionally, might I add, just by living here, just by working at certain places,
Yeah.
just by being at the right place at the right time, talking to the right person. And I'm one of the most antisocial people ever.
Yeah.
But I know so many people in this city who are way more successful than me in my world that I can call and rely on, that fuck with me.
Yeah.
That I've built genuine relationships with, to the point of, like, they actually either fuck with what I'm doing creatively or they just like me because I'm a kind, good person, right?
I'm one of them.
So facts. So, and that's the case. I'm speaking for both of us in the sense of, like, well, we live us living in Atlanta, don't try to tell me about nothing. Because even if I even if I haven't experienced a whole bunch of shit within my field,
Yeah,
let's just say I haven't, right? Even though we both have,
right.
right? Especially him. We know people who have experienced certain things. We have seen certain things, right? People act like they can't learn from watching.
Exactly.
And I even said it a couple episodes ago how when it comes to mistakes, you shouldn't have to make every single mistake on your own. You can learn from other people's mistakes.
Mhm.
You see all these people in media and television. That's why I love watching reality TV because
Yes.
I'm able to assess so many different situations and learn from them and be like,
And
you know
that's
what?
actually how it's
Let's
supposed to work. You're
exactly.
supposed to be able to look at the people who have come before you, and
Yes.
they're supposed to be able to give you the wisdom through the experiences, the trials, the tribulations that they have gone through, and say, here, I got to play for you. I went
Yes.
through this shit. Let me just give you the game so you don't have to go through it. You get what I'm saying? And you already
Exactly.
have the knowledge. And Atlanta is the perfect place for that, genuinely.
Absolutely. So even if I, haven't experienced all this stuff and I'm not this super successful content creator, it don't mean that I haven't had enough conversations with content creators or I haven't seen enough things and
Yes.
learned from it to
Yes.
the point where I can't now you acting like I can't now form my own opinion based off of all of things that I've experienced or seen and learned from other people. Fuck off. I'm still going to have my opinion. And then once I say something that you don't like, right? If I'm a content creator, a small content creator critiquing the field, the content creation field, and you don't like my opinion just because I don't have the analytics and the numbers to back it up yet. Once I do get those numbers, then what? Then what's going to be the conversation? Then what are you going to say?
And the only reason a lot of times why people don't have those numbers is because they are going against the grain. The
Yes.
people who do have these numbers and have these huge numbers, have these huge followings, are the people who are following the rat race, are the people who are just doing the same exact shit over and over and over again. But when you choose to say, actually, no, I have a different opinion. I'm gonna say my different opinion. That's not the status quo.
Yep.
Of course, people are not going to gravitate toward what they are not used to. So, once you build an audience of people who say, you know what, actually, let's listen to this different opinion. We need to break out of the mode of just hopping onto the bandwagon. That's actually the reason why we have the president that we have, and we are in the bullshit situations that we have, is because people cannot think for themselves. People are not using their autonomy. People are not using
Mhm.
their sovereignty. People are not saying, "Hey, I just heard something and I actually don't agree with it."
It actually just doesn't make
Actually,
sense.
this does not make fucking sense. People are actually just choosing to say, "You know what? I heard that, but I don't have the mental capacity to fully comprehend and articulate that and break that down to how that does not make sense. So I'm just not going to try to think. I'm not going to
Yeah.
try to form my
Fuck
own
you.
thought or opinion. I'm just gonna do what they tell me to do." That's the problem.
That's a
That's
fact.
why we're here now.
No, that's a fact. And so I noticed that the people who are different, Mia asked if we can sing. He can, I can. Okay? He can, I cannot.
Yeah,
I don't. I'm
I'm a
sorry.
singer.
Yeah, he's a singer, not me. Um, the people that are different or who do stand out, obviously I noticed that those are the people that just they have to work 10 times harder. They just do just have to
Yes.
just like weave through the crowd of bullshit and inauthenticity.
And
And
imagine how scary that must be to not know yourself so much, to not know your own voice so
yeah.
much, to not trust your own voice that much that you cannot even decipher what is yours and what is not. Imagine how crowded your mind must feel, because so many of the
Yes.
insecurities and things that our mind tries to project into our spirits is just the thoughts of what other people have instilled into us. So imagine not being able to filter that shit out with your own thinking.
And then being stuck in this, like this current reality that we all live
The
in and feeling like
Matrix.
yeah, feeling like that you have to do this way and not actually the way that you want it, not actually the way that you desire and that you envision in your mind. Back
Exactly.
to the colorful imagination thing.
Exactly.
You're just like, no, let me just do what fits, what's simple, what's
Exactly.
normal, what's regular. That is boring. Will it get you far? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Plenty of people are very successful by being mediocre. Okay.
Yes.
Um,
Living in your comfort zone.
Yes, and honestly, that's I'm not even entirely shitting on those people because
Okay.
whatever you're comfortable with. And like I said, people will like it. But if you are a person who has that very small desire that you are like avoiding and pushing down
Yes.
and you truly want to like shoot for the stars, but you're trying to limit yourself and talk yourself out of it, don't do that. That's the thinking that you have to undo that he's talking about. There's a lot
Exactly.
that we're fed, especially as black people. We're not going to get into it, but especially as black
I mean, we
people,
can listen.
we are I say it all the time. We are fed as a society, we are
Yes.
fed a lot of bullshit
Yes.
from jump, right?
From the
That
jump.
we have to manually undo. Hey Sam, that we have to manually undo as adults. And we all have to do it. There's a lot of toxic thinking that I manually had to undo myself the older I got, the more information and experience that I got. I had to be like, "You know what? Actually, this is not right.
Yeah.
Actually, this thing that we were taught or said to be this way when we was younger is
It's
not a
incorrect.
fact."
Like what?
And so I that's why I don't entirely like to judge everybody or
Yeah.
completely shit on people too harshly because
Exactly.
I remember that the toxic unthinking that I had to do for a lot of things. But it goes back to the things I was saying before this episode started. There's a difference between a person who just wants to ignore
The
right from wrong,
knowledge.
yeah,
Yeah.
ignore the knowledge and dismiss education and act like it's not important or I don't need to know this, I don't need to know that. I don't need to learn, grow, and change and be a better person every day. No, fuck that. That's not important. Versus people who are just kind of caught in that
Bubble.
yes, they're caught in that bubble, in that trap that I'm
Yeah.
referring to of just like limiting yourself and feeling like and adapting to this to societal norms all across the board. And it's like there's two completely different types of people. People who are just in their own world for real, and they like, "Fuck what y'all talking about. I'm gonna be ignorant and I'm gonna wear it
Yeah.
proud, loud and proud. I don't give
Yes.
a damn."
Yeah.
Versus people who are still they're trying to figure it out, and so
Yeah.
that's where people like us need to be very educational in the way that we speak and
Yes.
motivational and
Yes.
uplifting in the way that we speak about certain things.
'Cause some people just literally don't know, and
They don't know.
that is actual ignorance. Like, when
Yes.
we are that's literally the
Yes.
definition of ignorance, is just not knowing.
Yes,
The people
yes.
who do know, but choose to ignore, that is, bigotry. That's,
Yes.
disrespect, and it's disrespect, I say disrespect because as an African American, as I'm talking about the Black diaspora, when we are given certain information, we have a generational duty to push it forward, to
Yes.
acquire the information, to acknowledge it, to implement it, and to push it forward so the systems do not repeat themselves. And we have this duty because we were brought to this land here at the United States at 16, I think it was like 16, 16, 16, 17, and we were forced to completely be stripped of everything that made us us. We were
Yes.
forced to completely be stripped of all of our knowledge and education. We were not even seen as human beings. And then as we continue to grow and got to certain places, the people who create the institutions of this land literally did everything they could to burn our institutions that we were building and set us back even further. So
Yes.
now that we are at this place, we have a duty to say, okay, this is what's going to push us forward as individuals.
Yes.
We must implement this knowledge so we do not go through the same bullshit over and over and over and over again.
Yes. And the people him talking about our duty being to, like, spread this knowledge, in our approach with that, we have to everybody can't come, right? So the people that don't want to listen, that don't wanna hear it, that don't wanna learn, that don't wanna, like, move forward as a collective, or who just doesn't wanna, like, actually
Evolve.
evolve,
Right.
yes, leave them behind.
Leave them behind.
Let them
Leave the
go.
coons behind.
Just leave the coons behind. Just let them go.
Leave them where they at. Let them sit in the white man's lap. They can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try to listen because you know you're wrong. That's the
Yes.
thing. There's something in your spirit that we have as a people that tells us what is left and what is right, what is
Yes.
up and what is down, and we have a very specific history that reminds us of what is right and what is wrong. So if you're choosing to go in the house with massa, that's your choice. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's you living in your certain version of sovereignty, right?
Yes, yeah.
That must be respected in a certain
Yes.
way. And we're not going to waste any more time trying to drag you along with us when we can just take the people who choose to be conscious and evolved and create new and better.
Yes. We just everybody can't come.
Everybody
So,
can
it's
come.
just like, let's just keep things simple and just stick with the people that
Have some
actually
sense about
have some
themselves.
fucking sense. Um, but yeah, I don't before we move on to our next topic, I just want to say that I think what bothers me about social media is, and this is coming from a bitch that didn't always have the best tone. I feel
Yes,
like
I was the same.
I feel like the two biggest issues that I have with social media, actually maybe three. One, um, the first one is how people say things. I always say there's always better words to use, there's always better ways to say things.
I
And
agree.
it's not that you have to sugarcoat, it's not that you have to soften everything. It's just that I think some people, their takes are structured in a way where they act like you're speaking on a certain type of group of people as if you want to help them, but you wanna help them by insulting them, right?
Mhm.
And so that to me confuses me, and I get it, the tough love approach, it works for some people. Some people can take it, some people can accept it, but I think people just actually, it's gonna be 2 different points because these
Okay.
2 are kind of combined. It's the superiority complex that's my issue.
Yes,
It's the superiority
yes.
complex and your approach being very condescending, and
Mhm.
a lot of people, most people who are giving takes on the internet do not actually care about really being right or actually educating people. They just want to feel better than other
Feel
people.
superior.
They just wanna feel like, "I am a better human because I do this, and this," and even if fundamentally or literally that's correct, you constantly making that be the foundation of every fucking take you have is suffocating.
And it's hypocritical.
It's very hypocritical, and I say it all the time that it's actually okay to be hypocritical. That's the issue with social media.
Hmm.
You are naturally going to you are naturally going to be hypocritical. Now, I there's nuance in that because
Okay.
of course, yes, like, and there's in certain ways you shouldn't be hypocritical where
Right.
you can't claim to, like, be if you claim to want the betterment of black people and stuff and vote for Donald Trump, that's hypocritical. That I don't think that's okay, right?
Right.
But I am saying just in a human sense, as far as us existing naturally,
We will be hypocritical.
you're going to
And that's
contradict
evolution.
yourself no matter
Exactly.
what. And I think that that
Exactly.
is the issue. I think that's the reason why people have this superiority complex on the internet because they don't want to come across hypocritical, which is fair. And I get it. They don't wanna come across like they contradict themselves, so they wanna present to be in this, like, super moral high ground type of person, and I'm just so great in everything. And I'm not even just really talking politically, I'm talking about just
Just
everything. I'm
people.
talking about I'm talking
Yeah.
every single type of
Yeah.
topic. I'm not even just talking about politically, because yes, it's a thing in politics with political commentators, but just with any conversation, even in
Yes.
fucking reality TV discourse,
Yes.
people find every opportunity to insert their superiority complex, and it's so fucking annoying, and I don't like it. And then my other thing that I hate about social media is most people having most people being incapable of incorporating nuance into the conversation.
Yeah.
I This is why I made this fucking show,
Yeah.
because even if I disagree with you, I'm still gonna acknowledge in a certain way or in a certain world how I agree with your point.
Or at least have
At
respect for
least
your
have
point.
at least have respect or acknowledge the perspective, because
Yes.
I'm not very
Yes.
black and white, and,
Yes.
not everything is black and white, and a lot of people speak on so many heavy things
Yes.
in such a black and white way, and it pisses me off. I
Yeah.
even have talked about in episode 1 of this show, literally, um how with the Diddy and Cassie conversation, people were acting as if a perfect victim exists, and
Yeah.
I'm like, that whole conversation just bothered the fuck out of me, because there's so much nuance, and even that particular situation, but there's
Yeah.
so much nuance in a lot of different conversations that isn't just, "Oh,
There's
this,"
nuance in every
in
conversation.
every conversation, and people on social media cannot fucking acknowledge it, and it makes my brain hurt. But there's so many people that can. There's a lot of people who think like
Yes.
me and think like us
Yes.
who can, and that's why I felt motivated to start this my content like this in this format, because not even just me streaming, even my YouTube videos. That's why I feel confident to do this, because it's not very many people, it's very little. I probably follow, like, literally one other person who really makes her content centered around nuance and emotional intelligence. That's another key.
Yes.
But nobody else does it. There's it's not a huge market for it, right? It's not a huge market for emotional intelligence and, like, logical, critical thinking, and taking both sides into consideration. There's only a big market for ignorance and just saying stupid shit on a microphone and letting it go viral, because most people is gonna agree with it and attach themselves to it. And I just think that in general, when it comes to social media, with those being my 2 biggest issues, that's why I am very, like, careful with how I'm navigating this, and with, like,
Yes.
what I'm posting and what I'm talking about and who I'm responding to, because some people, it's just, like, not worth the energy, because they just don't get it. They have social media brain, and I'm trying to think with, like,
Yes.
human brain and, like, logical, realistic brain, and address it from an emotional, like, intelligent perspective.
Yeah.
And they're thinking of it in a very, like, literal way.
Fishbowl.
Yes, and focusing on one particular side of
Yeah.
it, and it's like, "Oh, I can't even have a conversation with you. Oh, let me just delete your comment. Oh, let me just block you, because you're not gonna get it. You're not even gonna try to get it."
And your nervous systems are irregulated. I'm not going to have a conversation with you if you can't if you can't take a moment. If I can walk out of this room and give you the assignment to say for the next 10 minutes, close your eyes, turn your phone off and just sit with your own thoughts and come back to me. If you someone who is emotionally intelligent, regulated nervous system and can be able to sit with another person and have cohesive conversation regardless of if we agree or disagree.
Mhm.
When I tell you to sit in here by yourself, if even if you disagree with me, you can be able to, when I come back in this room from that introspection, you can be able to tell me, you know what, I don't agree, but I respect that. I understand that. I understand the perspective. Once we understand that the only reality and truth in this life is the things that do not need explanation, the
Mhm.
things that do not need to be explained to be true. Like
Yes.
we are true. I can close my eyes, you're still here. I don't need anybody to tell me that you're right here right now.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Mhm.
But my perspective and my opinion of the situation is not the truth. Excuse me,
Yes!
it's just my perception.
Thank you!
We all have our own perception.
Yes.
It's not our own truths.
Yes.
So when we are in conversation, having and sharing perspective, we have to understand that we're not sharing truths unless these truths that we're sharing in conversation are backed up by books, science, are backed up by credible sources and subjects of things that have been studied. Right? Like I can tell you again, going back to music, I know the truth about music theory and I can sit here and have that conversation with you, but that is something that has been studied by thousands of men and women before me. So there
Mhm.
are truths there that can be brought up in conversation. But if I'm
Yes.
telling you right now that I think ginger hair is the problem with everybody that has it in America and is making people dumber, that's just my perspective. You get what I'm
Yes.
saying? So
Yes.
that differentiation is actually much harder to recognize on social media because
Yes.
everybody, like you said, there's a lack of nuance. There's a lack of taking time to recognize that this is just perspective and it's not truth. Also, social media, truth or not truth, it's not truth. It's just a culmination of perspectives. It's a
Mhm.
culmination of everybody's worlds. And I'm not a big fan of social media, especially right now. I think everybody just needs to take a step back.
For sure.
Everybody just needs to get into their own minds and their individuality. It's missing. It's
Yeah.
it's it's a big gap.
Yeah, I've been saying I need to take more, like, I need to unplug more. It's hard when you're pursuing something more on social media, but even just what I have been doing, something small, but even when I take my dogs out to walk or if I just go outside, I don't bring my phone. Um,
Yeah.
I'm out of the habit of, "Hey, Chrissy." Um, yeah, I don't bring my phone when I go outside to walk my dogs. Like, anytime I step outside and I know I'm coming back,
Yeah.
I just leave my phone
Yeah.
inside, and I'm just like, "Yeah, let me just not bring it, cause just to give me some time away from
Away
it."
from it.
And I think that
Yeah.
that is, very important for sure.
Very
So,
important. Very
yeah, that was
important.
really good conversation. But yeah,
Great.
social media is just like, bro,
The
so I
problem.
think for me, with that's why I am so I run a bit of a tight ship and a strict program on my platform with, like, how I'm building my audience because I always say, "Respectfully disagree," right?
Yeah.
Respectfully disagree. Um, but also, if I say a point, if I make a statement, right,
Yes.
and you respond completely disregarding what I just said, especially if I already acknowledged your other perspective.
You can't even take the time to regulate your nervous system and receive my perspective and at least acknowledge it.
At least,
At
but guess what?
least.
Why they can't acknowledge it? Because you wasn't fucking listening. Because y'all
Just not
have
active listening.
bad
Just listening
comprehension
to
skills.
respond.
You listen to respond, you have bad comprehension skills, and y'all are very, like, combative and always on this, like, debate
And that comes
fucking
from your mama and your
mode.
daddy.
For sure. And it's so fucking annoying, me as a nuanced person, and I get that y'all aren't used to it on social media. When I be make videos or post clips or say a take, most of the time, pretty much every single time, either in that clip or in that video, I'm going to talk about both sides of the point.
Exactly.
I'm going to address all of it because that's how you have productive conversations. That's that's the way that you conversate with
Exactly.
addressing all perspectives, not just
Yes.
yours. So if I see a certain response from certain people who completely miss my overall point and they just go to the other side of it so we can be on debate mode, now I don't wanna have a conversation with you. Now I'm not even gonna respond to you in the comments. Now I'm gonna delete your comment. Now I'm gonna delete your comment or block you because you are on a debate mode. So as I'm building and growing my community, my audience, I don't want my people who watch me and support me to get in the habit of that, right?
Yeah.
Because with everyone who has their communities and stuff, they are all a certain kind of way. You know
Exactly.
how you're supposed to act over there and how you're not, right?
Exactly.
People make that very clear, especially even on YouTube or just even on Twitch. People
Mhm.
are even if they're not intentional about it, a lot of people, pretty much everyone who has a platform and an audience their audience generally will act a certain way.
Yeah.
They'll move a certain way, they'll speak a certain way, and so for me, I'm starting it early, like, no, if you can't even acknowledge the other perspective, even
Yeah.
acknowledge it, fuck agreeing with it.
Yeah.
If you can't even acknowledge what the other person said, like, literally repeat back what
Yeah.
they said, and then explain why you disagree with it, then I don't want you over here. I don't want you to follow me. I don't want you to respond to a video, and I'm not gonna engage in a debate with you, right? Chad, I'm just talking about people constantly being on like a debate mode where you try to articulate a point, and you, someone who you be on live and talking to people a lot. Isn't it frustrating when you articulate a point and you address all sides of it, but like people will respond completely dismissing your overall point just so they can argue with you, just so they can address the other side. I didn't dismiss the other side. Why are you arguing it? I didn't dismiss it. I acknowledged it. And I even acknowledged in a way that I disagreed with it, but you still chose to point out the other perspective and argue it. That to me is someone who's not that smart. Even what a chat, look what Chat just said. He said, that's why you block them or just call them dumb. Exactly. That's simple. That right there is someone who's really not that smart. And that right there is someone that I don't want to speak to. I don't want to have a conversation with. I don't even want to waste my energy with you. And I'm not even trying to be mean. I'm not. But
But
I
you know, it's literally just gonna be a waste of breath,
oh
because once you're able to identify that who you're having conversation with is not able to even understand and comprehend your
yes.
statement, then you know that nothing more that comes out of your mouth will be heard and articulated and comprehended. So there's no reason for me to continue to sit here and blab and tell you and give you complex theory and understanding as to what I'm not gonna I'm not gonna waste my time here. I'm just
It's
gonna
just not
leave
like
you alone.
it's a waste of time. Chad said the issue is I think now is we don't call people dumb enough. Not everyone opinion worth listening to. I swear I'm actually gonna that's gonna be my Monday stream because I already had that topic down, and I think this is just like I really need to have a whole separate stream for this. I seen a TikTok video of that girl of a girl talking about that and going on about it, and we're gonna have a stream on Monday about it because the conversation needs to be had.
I just think the people who are calling people dumb need to actually be people with smarts, like people
Yes,
with education.
that
Because we were
too.
just talking about a female who was calling people dumb, stupid, and illiterate, and she was dumb, stupid, and illiterate. So we need to,
That's a fact.
we need to make sure that the people who are
That's so real. That's so
so
real. Oh, Chad, he said Ish from Joe Budden podcast, a perfect example of this. I thought of him while I was talking about this. Was like, yeah, he's the perfect example
which
of
one is
it.
Ish?
He's the light skin that's always arguing with Joe.
Okay.
50 grumpy old nigga. He's just so like he just has that, oh, I'm 50 years old and my mind is made up mindset, which is fine. But in podcast land, where y'all are having different conversations and you are debating or
Yes.
just having discourse, you need to like acknowledge the other side. Like, you
Right.
can't just be a person that's like, "Well, I want you to hear what I need to say, but
Right.
I'm gonna dismiss what you say." That's exactly what Ish does.
Yeah.
He completely dismisses everything that anyone else says, but he wants his point to be heard. Like, what the fuck? It be rage bait 9 times out of 10. That too, Chrissy, it
Yeah,
do.
that's true.
It do be rage bait. That's why I'm like, "You know what? I just know when to leave shit alone."
But that's how we know that we're working with unhealed people. Because if
Yeah.
you are, that's just literally trauma response. You listening to what somebody has to say and just immediately resulting to defense,
Yeah.
immediately just choosing to disregard what they think, what they understand, their perception, and just hitting them with yours. That tells me a lot about the work that you have done in therapy or the lack thereof. Like,
Mm.
we need to that's internal work that needs to happen.
I didn't even consider that.
No,
That
literally.
is so real.
It's literally unhealed trauma response, because you have to, like you said earlier, so much of who you have become is because you have done the work to go within yourself to understand your flaws, to to understand the things about you that may not be the best and the things about you that you do prefer, and say, okay, this thing is not beneficial to my future. I need to
Yes.
work on this. I need to become more. I need to become better. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with evolution. But if you have not done the work to work through your traumas, to work through those things that may not be the best, you will continue to spread that poison.
Yes. I love that point because that I didn't even consider that point, and I feel like that's so accurate. Like, it makes so much sense. Um, but yeah, I love that conversation. Chad said, we need to make people read sentences out loud on first dates. Yes.
We need to ask people to recite a complete sentence on first dates.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's just like social media is frying everyone's brain, so it's a headache. But anyway, we're gonna go to a quick commercial break and move on to the next topic. Thank you guys for yapping with us, and if you're watching playback, thank you for watching us yap. We're gonna be right back
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Yap
yeah, yeah,
Samo.
yeah.
Why does me being by myself and minding my business and not saying anything bother you? That combination of intellectual intimacy and physical intimacy, dangerous combo. You Christians, right? Can I tell y'all something? Y'all do know that God loves gay people too, right? Just getting to know each other and it don't work out. No, I don't want to be your friend. I actually never want to speak to you again, actually. I actually never want to see you again, to be honest. Definitely don't think that any woman should be crashing out over a man. It's not worth it. He don't care. You look crazy. Is it not important for new rappers to want to have their own identity? How come we can all admit that we are in a literacy crisis while simultaneously clowning Kai for trying to read? Catch daily clips posted wherever you get your short form content. On TikTok, you can follow me at It's Your Girl Asia Clips. To see my Instagram reels, you can follow me at My Thoughts No One Asked For. And to watch my YouTube shorts, you can also follow me at My Thoughts No One Asked For. Hello, hello. I'm
Hi.
back. I'm back. Okay, guys. So we were on the phone the other day
Yes.
and we were just yapping. And this is what actually inspired me to have him on the show this week because I was like, we're talking about a lot of stuff that people need to be hearing. Like
Yeah.
we was just potting like
Yeah, we was. Yeah,
casually.
3 hours.
Yeah. We was just potting like without even trying. Um and so I was talking to him about kind of the issue I've been having lately with manifesting, which I feel like I've overcame now by talking to him and even a lot of videos that's been coming across my feed. It's been helping me understand it more or fully step into the energy that you need to operate in order to manifest successfully.
Mm.
Um and so I really want to hear from Adrian about um if you could explain how would you describe manifesting to someone who thinks it's bullshit, who it doesn't make sense, they don't get it, they don't understand the concept. How would you explain it to them in a way that's simplified or to where it doesn't seem as
Complex?
complicated?
Oh. I think, man, if we're breaking it down from complex explanation to just as simple as possible, manifesting is just believing.
Mhm.
Believing that whatever you aspire to have is already yours, is already done, is already in who you are in this moment. Because whatever you desire to create will come from you,
Mhm.
and everything that you need in order to create that already resides in who you are in this present moment. You just have to understand yourself enough to know what part of yourself you need to access in order to make that thing come to fruition. So it's simply just believing enough, and understanding that it is already done. Now, if we want to get more into it,
Mhm.
I think that manifesting is the act of sitting with yourself and having a goal. For example, I want to become the principal of a high school. And I know that in order to be a principal of a high school, there are certain qualities that I must have. I
Mhm.
must be patient. I must be able to understand the mind and the thinking of children. I must be able to converse effectively with all kinds of people. I know that I need a certain group of qualities in order to do this job. So, what I will do is say, assuming that you have a connection with your source and your creator, I will say, Creator, in your meditation or in your prayer, Creator, I need patience. I need
Mm.
to know how to converse. I need discipline. I need structure.
Mhm.
And I need transportation. I need a
Mm.
car. But in order to get the car, I know that I'll need the financial discipline to save money and get the car.
Mhm.
These are the qualities that I need. Creator, please give me these qualities.
Mm.
Please instill in me all of the qualities I need to be the person who receives or who is living in this reality of myself that I want to live in.
Yes.
That will take time, but at least you've
Mhm.
sent the prayer out and creator knows, okay, this is the list of things that I must instill in my vessel. That's part
Yes.
one. Part two is creator saying, okay, I have this list of things, but in order to give you these qualities, I do have to send you through life lessons. You do have to go through things in order to garner the wisdom. And then if you garner the wisdom from the lessons and the cycles that I send you through, you need to then implement the wisdom that you have garnered to your everyday life and
Yeah.
become and live as the person who has attained these things you are praying for.
Mhm.
People think manifestation is the act of saying, I want this $1 million house. I'm just going to keep it on my mind right here and it's going to be here by tomorrow. That's cute. It's
Yeah.
very cute. But you do understand that there is a process of life that must happen in order for you to attain that $1 million home. There is
Mhm.
a certain person that you have to be. If you want $1 million home, but you're not showing up as the $1 million bitch, that shit is not going to happen. You
Mhm.
get what I'm saying? You got to step into that, live in that, and accept those qualities from the life lessons that you have been through, garner that wisdom,
Yeah.
and implement it into your life.
I love that you explained that so beautifully and even, like, helped me with understanding it even more,
Yeah.
because that's the part that I feel like I was missing or forgetting, like, this video that I seen from this girl the other day, I loved it, where she was just like, "Oh, you're manifesting money? Okay, cool." She was like, "Well, how are you feeling? Are you feeling stressed and anxious and all these things?" She was like,
Mm,
"Well, those feelings are not that doesn't match the
exactly.
person who, is gonna have this money that you're manifesting. How
Exactly.
if you're manifesting $5,000, how will you feel being $5,000 richer, right? How will you
Yes.
feel? You'll feel lighter, you'll feel less stressed, you'll be able to relax and pay some stuff off, pay your bill and do whatever you need to do for the month."
And taking it even a step further,
Mhm.
you're manifesting $5,000. What are you not allowing yourself to do because you don't have the $5,000? What are you
Yes.
not allowing of yourself
Yeah.
because you don't have 5,000? People be like, when I get $5,000, I'm just going to chill. I'm
Yes.
going to finally go out with my friends and have fun. No, do that now and the money
Yeah.
will follow. The
Yeah.
reality, like you said, the whole title of this entire experience, everything is spiritual. So
Yeah.
you must allow your spirit to live in it, and reality will meet you where you're living.
I love that you just said that because I actually I've been doing that for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I've been wanting to, like, get my toes done, and I was like, "Oh, no, just I'll just do them myself because I can." But I
Yeah.
was like, "No, like, I wanna go." I've been, like, putting it on a back burner, like, all week because I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I wanna get my toes done." I'm like, "Nah, I'll wait till next week," or, "I'm not really gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'll just do it at home." And I caught myself fighting with that,
Yeah.
but I didn't, like, really address it. I was like, "That's part of that."
Exactly.
Like, holding me back. I'm just like, "Oh, well, no, I'm not gonna do this because I can do it at home, I can save some money, I can do whatever," and it's
Exactly.
like,
If
"No,
you had
girl,
the
go."
cash, you would go get that mother your nails done. Right.
Yeah, and it's like, I can, but it's like, I don't want to because I'm living in that, like, scarcity
Scarcity
mindset
mindset,
and
yes.
feeling like I'm not having X, Y, and Z, and so I wanna move on to the kind of the second part of this conversation
Okay.
that I want you to help people with of, like, how do you maintain embodying all of that energy that you are for whatever you're manifesting?
Mm,
How do you maintain that when you don't see it yet?
mm. This is where consistency and discipline comes in because it must be a consistent practice for you to choose to live in uh, the clarity of your spirit, not the
Mhm.
clarity of what you're seeing in reality. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Um, and this is also true sovereignty, and true autonomy. Choosing to say, no matter what my life is looking like, no matter what the reality, the truth is showing me,
Mhm.
I am going to choose to come inward, trust myself enough to know that I am expanding, even if it does not look like it. Because if we're just going to go based off of what we see, we completely ignore the function of ourselves
Yeah.
and the function of our organs. We don't see our organs working. We don't think about how our organs work. We don't think about all of the
Mhm.
jobs that our cells, the mitochondria, the nucleus does for us 24/7. We
Mm.
don't see that shit.
Yeah.
But it is constantly working to heal us, to expand us, to evolve us. And these are things that we don't see or and most times do not pay attention to, but it's
Mm.
happening. So
Yes.
we have to truly understand that I am going to wake up every day. I literally have sticky notes on my walls that say, I choose joy, I choose
Mhm.
love, I choose abundance, I
Mhm.
choose peace. You get what I'm saying? These are constant decisions that you have to choose to live in and allow yourself to ensconce yourself into. And in time, with patience, through life, through lessons, through the journey, through the processes, hopefully, life is going to send you obstacles and lessons and things that will teach you.
Mhm.
Hopefully, through those lessons, you garner the wisdom
Mhm.
and with that wisdom, like I said before, you implement it. And then as you begin to implement the wisdom into your life, day after day, week after week, month after month, you will change. You will become. You will
Yeah.
become more. You will evolve. And life will meet you exactly where you go, where you
Yeah.
are. Period.
Yeah, 'cause I was just gonna say, I feel like I feel like usually in most cases, based off things that I've heard and things that I've seen, that that method usually doesn't, like, it doesn't fail you, I would
Right.
say, like, usually. Obviously, I don't know every single situation or whatever, but I feel like usually it doesn't fail you, and if it does, it's for a reason.
Right.
But, like, I feel like that, like, delusional mindset that, people talk about,
Yeah.
it I don't I guess I can't really point out too many cases where people maintaining that mindset and being consistent with it has, like, failed them.
And there's also a difference between Because we want to, like we were talking about, we wanna be able to understand all perspective.
Mhm.
We wanna be able to recognize that, okay, for the people this did not work for, it's not failure, it was just redirection. Like,
Yeah.
this was just not for you, and
Mhm.
that's okay. You are aligned with something else.
Mhm.
Um, and we also have to recognize just because you are delusional, quote unquote,
Yeah, I hate that word.
just because you're quote unquote delusional or you believe in something does not mean that your actions as a human being are aligned with that path,
Mhm.
if that
That's
makes
true,
sense.
yeah.
Just because you believe something to be true for yourself does not mean that what you are doing in your day to day is reflective of that path. Um, you may believe something, you may believe that you are meant to be the president of the United States, but the way your life has led you is showing that you are just meant to be a director at a hospital
Yeah.
and you are sitting in nursing school for a reason. You get
Mhm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so a lot of times it's getting out of your mind because that's where delusion lives and getting into your inner knowing and your inner spirit because I truly believe we all know what we're sitting here to do,
For
or
sure.
we have a foundational understanding of what pulls at our hearts, what pulls
Yeah.
at our spirits for us to be doing and creating. We know when we're not somewhere we're meant to be. You feel
Yes,
that.
you've it's very clear.
Exactly,
You can
exactly. And
tell.
just follow that. That'll tell you everything you need to know.
Yes. Follow your gut, trust your
Your
intuition.
intuition. Yes.
And yeah, so I'm just like, listening to pretty much everything he's saying about manifesting and learning my damn self because I am like when I hear people say they're like master manifestors,
I
I'm
feel
like,
like I
that's
am a
me.
master manifester.
I'm gonna get there. I swear I'm going to get there for sure. So that's why I'm really trying to fully grasp the concept instead of just the social media
Yeah,
general idea of it,
yeah.
right? Truly understanding
What
how
it
it
is for you, and it's
works.
different for us all. I didn't
Mhm.
believe I was a master manifester until my aunt called me one day and she told me on the phone, she was like, "You have literally manifested every single accomplishment in your life. You have
Mm.
manifested." I did not, and my now ex was on the phone when this happened,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Whoa, everything that I've said since a child has
Yes.
come to pass."
Yeah,
So, it's,
I love that.
it will be.
And I feel like for me, it's been pretty similar. It's honestly kind of pretty much been the same thing. I will say, I guess I didn't realize I was manifesting, but even my family knows this. Anything I've ever said I was gonna do, I did it.
Yeah.
No matter if it sounded crazy, people thought I was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, whatever. Anything that I've ever said I was going to do, I did it. And I don't explain myself to nobody. I don't try to make sense out of things. I just do it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that's like I love that I have already done that. And now that I'm just aware that like, oh,
Oh, yes, that
so that
awareness.
I am manifesting and now me manifesting certain things or in manifesting in different ways now. I guess I'm learning how to truly get that result, and I'm in that process of trying to fully embody that higher frequency consistently.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's the battle between the spirit
yeah.
and the flesh, you know?
Yes. But yeah, love that conversation, you guys. And I want to go ahead and close out this episode with everything is spiritual. We can kind of go anywhere with this conversation, whatever you're feeling.
Mm,
But I think a lot of people probably in general are annoyed with certain spiritual people that always find like some kind of sign and everything, or they always feel like everything is connected to spirituality and da da da. And it's like it really is
it
though.
all
And
is.
even down to something that I know specifically now, I understand it's spiritual.
Yeah.
Me being antisocial, right? Which I don't even really like to say because if I wanna talk to people, Imma talk.
Right.
But I noticed that instead of instead of me saying like, "Oh, I'm antisocial, I don't like people, whatever, whatever, whatever," me starting my spiritual journey and having my first Reiki session
Ooh,
and discovering that I'm so sensitive to energy
me too.
and why. And I was like, "Oh, so this is why I act like an asshole when I'm surrounded by a bunch of people and I feel all the way off and shit."
Yeah,
And it's not me just like
being an
being an
asshole.
asshole. Like I just really
It's too much.
and also it explained why I had to disconnect myself from certain people from so long to take a break and be like, I can't deal with you. It was abrupt. It was an abrupt cut off,
Yeah,
or I was just kind of like, I can't take you right now. And I couldn't entirely explain it. I couldn't entirely articulate it. And I probably came across as an asshole. But it all came down to the fact that I am very sensitive to energy. I'm also an empath. And
yeah,
so I had to step away from everyone and then do the work on myself to truly
yes.
understand that and then develop the tools to deal with that. So now I can handle people that I had to take a step back from before because I know how to hear your issues and not feel like I have to
Not internalize it.
yeah, not internalize it and not feel like I need to help or involve myself.
Mhm.
I took time to develop that tool. And so even something as simple as that, as like me not
Sovereignty.
yeah, me not wanting to interact with people or really go places. I'm very picky with where I go, who I go with. This for Stream University, Kai just posted literally like maybe an hour before you came here. He posted, he's doing in-person
Uh,
auditions in LA, Atlanta, and New York. I looked at that shit and I said, "Absolutely the fuck not." At least for Atlanta,
yeah,
absolutely the fuck not.
yeah.
Them motherfuckers act like
It's gonna be
they
the
treat
zoo.
Kai like he's MJ when he steps outside. We seen what happened when he was in New York. That shit got shut the fuck down, right? And so he already had put up like the pretty much if y'all get rowdy, this shit is getting shut down.
Mm,
Like he's not really going for the bullshit. But because I live here
yeah.
and I know we just had full day, I know we can literally have anything. We can't have Atlanta can have nothing without somebody trying to mess it up.
Acting a fool.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
So for me, when I seen that today, I already submitted my application. He said the video applications are still valid and all
Okay,
that.
good.
It seems like he's doing this more so for promotional purposes, just
Yeah.
to do something different this time around.
Some B-roll.
Yeah, which I think is fire and it totally helps the whole, thing. Um, but for me, right, utilizing my discernment, even clocking myself and knowing like I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like I can't do that. Even me manifesting that I'm going to Stream University, I am already trying to like in my mind figure out how I'm gonna navigate it
Yeah.
to where I don't feel, you know what I'm saying? But now with me being who I am now and knowing how to meditate and how to cleanse my energy and how to like ground myself, I never did that before. So now I know how to reset. Now
Yes.
I know how to like check back in. And so I
Yes.
think that instead of kind of looking at people who s- talk about how everything is spiritual and you want to side eye them or just think that they're, spewing bullshit, it's a fact. Everything really is spiritual and it's
Yes.
not to like it doesn't have to be this like whimsical woo woo like
Hocus pocus.
yeah, it's not.
It's not that at all.
It's not that. It's just like a natural state of being. Spirituality is just what is.
Yes.
And it's not it's people acknowledging what what is existing, but also what's existing and what people are avoiding or not paying attention
Yes.
to, right? The again
Yes.
with the flesh thing. I think
Yes.
I talked about it on here a few episodes ago, not too long, about how I noticed that as I stepped into this certain version of myself, this new version of myself, I've noticed that most people you run into are going to be too caught up in their flesh. They're gonna
Yes.
be concerned and stressed about shit that really doesn't fucking matter. They're gonna not really care to view things in a certain perspective, or they don't wanna see the positive in something and they're too stuck on the bad, or they're not thinking about, "You know what? God probably didn't want me to add that." God, he's he's clearing the way, right?
Right.
He's making room for something bigger, but you wanna dwell on, losing your job when he has something bigger planned for you. And so again, that's why I
Yes.
don't try to rush to judge so many people because you have to undo that. That is what we are
Yes.
all brought into this world thinking. So you have to undo that. But yeah, I've been learning that literally everything is spiritual. There all these like different signs or confirmations that you get.
That you are aligned.
It yeah, it's so some of the shit I swear some of the shit that I see or experience, what I was telling you today with them damn cards, I was like, "Bro, some people just wouldn't fucking understand
Mhm.
certain things that I catch on to."
Mhm.
And I'm just like, "Oh my." I'm just like, "Wow." Like, I'm constantly, like,
It's crazy.
amazed,
Yeah,
but acknowledging that this isn't just a coincidence. It's not just
exactly.
like, "Oh, it's not just whatever." Like, no, this is intentional. This is it's
It's
everything is
purpose.
spiritual. Yeah.
Everything is spiritual. I couldn't agree more. And just in this conversation, the past 2 minutes that you've been speaking about that, the confirmation I've received, like, look at the time. The confirmation I've received over and over again. I pulled up to your house. I saw your laces play had three threes on it. 333. Like, it
Oh my
these time after
god.
time. What's the end of his username right there? Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
It's like that.
You catch on
It's
you
there.
catch them all the time
You
for
have to
real.
pay attention. It's 24/7 for me
Mm.
when I wake up until I go to sleep. And so recognizing that every part of your life, everything in this living, in this space was created by something.
Mhm.
People don't know how the universe was created. They say the Big Bang, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, it was created by a something,
Mhm.
some force,
Mhm.
some kind of power created this
Mhm.
and created you and I. And the power of that universe is us, within us. It
Yes.
lives within us. It is literally, even if we want to go, I know we got Christians in the world and all that jazz. I've been there, done it. I'm an ordained minister. This is actually my 6 year anniversary. I live that life, truly. Um, Even if we want to go into Christianity, the Bible says that
Get on with it.
God is closer to you than your breath,
Mm.
which means he is within you. You get what I'm at?
And
So
people think when you say that, this is the issue that y'all brain, y'all limited thinking. What do people think when you say that? People think that you're saying you are
you are
God.
God. You are the only God. That you are the all-knowing,
Like,
multi-universal
I'm
source.
not I don't think that I'm
No.
actually God. Y'all take shit too literal,
I
bro.
just know that I am a part of God, which means that I hold God's strength, God's power that he instills within us. I hold
Mhm.
the qualities of that God, source, universe, creator, whatever you all most resonate with.
Yes, it's all the
But
same thing.
it's all the same thing. But just understanding that everything comes from something, and we are all aligned with that something in some way. So if you just communicate with that something and say, "Hey, I want to understand you. I
Mhm.
don't want to have to go through Jesus Christ. I don't want to have to, and I don't mean to offend. It's just what it is. I don't want to have to go through Jesus Christ. I don't want to have to go through a messenger. I just want to connect with you because you can. It's your birthright. It's within you. It is the I am. It is within you. You can close your eyes and say, Creator, I am here. Please allow me to further understand you. Please
Mhm.
communicate with me without confusion. Just show me the truth. I
Mhm.
need to better understand. And if you take the time to slow down, regulate your nervous system, and look around, to go sit outside, look at what the trees are doing, look at
Mhm.
what the birds are doing, pay attention to the things that you are seeing consistently that create wonder within your mind. Pay attention to the ways that people communicate with you and look at you. Pay attention to the ways that people may spill their entire lives out at you just randomly. On a random Tuesday, this old lady just comes up to you
Telling
and
you
just
all her
tells her whole
business.
story,
Yeah.
or just shares a word with you. A lot of times we have we have a way of only accepting the or only internalizing the negative comments that people spew at us. And we
Yes.
do not fully internalize the positive, beautiful things that people say to us when they do.
Yeah.
That matters more, you know?
Mhm.
So if you just take the time to slow down and pay attention, you'll recognize that everything is spiritual.
Facts.
Everything, the guiding force that created us, that created our universe, is guiding us toward our divine destiny. You've just got to be able to pay attention and be present,
Yes, and be open to it.
be open and receptive. Yes.
Yeah.
In some parts, I know I did say hocus pocus. Some parts of it are
It's
hocus pocus,
and that's
especially if you're black.
yeah.
Oh,
And you
well,
shouldn't be
primarily if you're black.
yes,
Yes.
and you shouldn't be scared of it. You
Yes.
shouldn't be, I know we live in America
Yeah.
and we're taught that anything aside from Christianity is
It's
demonic. I
demonic.
get it, babe. I get it. I hope you guys are free from the shackles.
Slavery did a number.
Yeah, the white man has done a good number on us.
Yes.
It's
Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I don't judge you, babe. I don't judge you, but don't judge me
Mm.
because I actually did the research and and I actually realized and found out in 4K that the white man has been lying to us forever. Like
And
they
I've
always
lived this
do.
life. It's in my living. Don't
Yeah.
pay attention to the words. Just if you watch me long enough, if you look at my living long enough, if you watch enough episodes of My Thoughts No One Asked For, you'll be able to see it in the way I walk, in the way I talk, in the way I show up, in the way I travail through tribulation, and trials and obstacles, in the
Yeah.
way I evolve, in the way God is about to pour down the unlimited amount of abundance and opportunity and prosperity on us both. Just pay attention to the
Hey,
living.
yes. Just stay tuned.
Just stay
And
tuned.
and I want and I want to say this as well cuz I just want to be very clear, okay? Cuz a lot of y'all, most of y'all related to our point, we're like if I say, or I'm spiritual, or I don't really like entirely like align with religion and stuff like that, you see me pull some tarot cards and fucking walking around with incense and Palo Santo and sage and shit, you automatically will assume that it's demonic or I'm worshiping the devil. And I want to make it very clear, crystal clear I believe in God. I don't believe in any type of like I'm not worshiping any type of demonic or negative force.
Mm.
It's like I personally will say God. Some people will say universe,
Right.
creator,
Creator, right.
spirit, all of these different things. And so when you use something else maybe other than God, or when people say universe and all of these things, people are like, ooh,
Right.
you you're worshiping the devil. And it's like I get it. Again, let me not judge. Let me not jump to judging. Let me not
Right.
do that because I get it. We're all conditioned to think that way.
Yes.
But like I be making people clear, making shit clear when people see me flipping my tarot cards. I'm like, look, I'm praying to God for
Yes.
protection. I'm not from evil. I'm not worshiping the evil. Like
Exactly.
that's not I don't want
Exactly.
people to automatically equate spirituality to being demonic. And then what I also don't like when it comes to witchcraft specifically, um when people try to automatically again make it a super demonic thing on whatever. Go do your research on it and all that stuff. But I just want to say people who automatically are like, "Oh, it's demonic" and all this stuff. I always talk about how humans we misuse things all the time, right? People with power and money, they 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 misuse their they misuse that all the time. They utilize it for bad, right? They
Yes.
take advantage of their status and their wealth and they will do bad things with it.
Absolutely.
Same it's the same thing with spirituality and people who do these spells and all this stuff, right? There are
Yes.
going to be people who practice witchcraft,
To do horrendous things.
who will put some spells on people and try to, there are always going to be people that will use things that will abuse things for bad. And you cannot automatically just be like, "Oh, well, this whole thing is just fucked because there's a group of people that's always gonna use it for, like, in a negative way." And I think
Exactly.
that that is, like,
Bullshit.
that's bullshit, and that's just one element of it that people need to, in general, people just really need to educate themselves, just take time and just stop believing what the white man says about everything. But that's just one example that I wanna use of, like, anytime when people saw me playing with my cards and they would bring that up or assume that it was demonic and this stuff, and I'm like, or try to, like, fear monger me.
Mm.
I would be like, "I get it. That's valid, but, like, humans do that in everything." Like,
Very
look
constant.
at our president, like, look at all of these people in power who abuse their power, who abuse their wealth, who abuse their access, who abuse their resources, and they use their reach to certain things to, like, do bad things,
And
to
if we
break
need to
laws.
simplify it even more for you all, it's all creativity. It's all
Yes,
creativity.
that too.
With their resources, they create certain outcomes. They try to control certain outcomes by creating certain outcomes and doing different things. So, in that regard, specifically,
Mhm.
people can use their creativity to create or try to create negative
Yes,
outcomes.
yes.
That's all it is. It's just the creativity of it all.
Yes,
And go
oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Well, real quick, we see that happening with streamers, with what you just said. We see that happening with streamers with a lot of these streamers are they're producing something and doing something that in general is cool and it's great, but they're also, like, producing an audience of bigots and
Yes.
homophobes and
Yes.
fucking, misogynists and little
Yes.
fucking red pill niggas, you know what
And
I'm
they're not
saying?
correcting
And they're
them,
not correcting
which
them.
is the problem.
That
Which
is
is
a
the
very
problem.
that is the literally what you just said, I
Yeah.
immediately thought I was like, "That's exactly what we've been seeing with streaming."
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's streaming itself, and then what do you see, Adrian? You see everyone shitting on streamers as a whole. Everyone collectively, especially on Twitter, they're just like, "Oh, streamers are annoying." They think all streamers are like that
Exactly.
because the bigger and most popular ones, that's the type of genre of content that they create, and that is
Exactly.
what, and their audience mimics that.
Yes.
And, like, you can't you not all streamers are bad or stupid or ignorant just because a couple of them just don't know what the fuck they're doing, or they don't care enough to be responsible with their
With their
platform. That
audience.
doesn't make that
Exactly.
doesn't make streaming just like all streamers just like this one thing.
Yes.
And so that I love that you said that because
So
that
be
was another great
cautious with
example.
how you use your creativity. Be cautious with how you handle the platform and the audiences you are given. Because I
Mhm.
think we spoke about it, but I know I spoke with someone. It was a lot of times, regardless of if you come into these spaces with the intention of being an influence, as you grow your platform, as you grow your audiences, or as you just maneuver through the world, you will influence people. You will influence someone. Your living will influence others to do something.
Mhm.
So be intentional with how you live, how you create, and the things that you say, the things that you do, and the ways you treat people. Because
Mhm.
we have such a huge issue with misogyny in this world because there has been a surge of disrespect to black women on these kinds of spaces.
Yes.
So it automatically creates the assumption that all of us black men in these kind of entertainment spaces treat women a certain kind of way when that's not the truth.
That's not, yeah. That's a fact. Oh my gosh, you can get locked, actually. You can fuck all the way off.
God bless them.
Yeah.
Low vibrational babies.
Like, what?
God bless them.
Like, get the fuck, oh, wait, you know what? Never mind. That was my fault. Hold on, unblock.
Oh, they wasn't talking shit?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. He was saying, "Stop it, bro. Your words are so emotional. I think I'm gonna cry." So I think so.
Oh,
My bad, my bad. See, I
that,
be
he gone now. We
that's
be trying to get niggas.
sorry. That's how
Sorry.
you not run a strict program.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
real
I
quick,
be
bro.
like, I be
It's all
like,
peace and love.
I'm just used to people being on bullshit. I'm sorry.
Peace and
I
love.
already blocked like 2 people in this live. Hey,
That's what I
Dirt
wanna
Walk. Thank
find.
you for like sticking. How long have you been in the live? Thank you for hearing us.
Feel like
Yeah,
therapy.
it is. This
This
is
has
why I
been
told y'all
therapeutic.
this is gonna be a classic episode. Very therapeutic, amazing, amazing conversation. And this is why I love doing this show because even as I grow, there's gonna be so many people that's even gonna watch this and like watch all my episodes and hear this stuff. I'll be going back and rewatch my own episodes. Like when enough people hear this, it's
Yes.
gonna be like life
Imagine
changing
in the next 5,
almost.
10 years when our huge audiences are going back to watch our stuff, and they're like, "Whoa,
They were so young with so much wisdom.
so much wisdom. Oh my god." And they were friends. Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh. This is crazy. So, yeah, I love that. This has been reassuring though. Well,
Yes, it
thank you,
has.
Margella. I appreciate you for kicking it with me. And yeah,
Yes.
hey Kenzie. I really enjoyed this stream.
Me
Thank you
too.
so much for joining.
Thank
This
you
is an
for
amazing
having me.
conversation. Um, I had a time
Me
today, and
too.
this is an amazing way to celebrate my 1 year of stream. Okay, I loved it. And
I
reminder.
just wanna say
Oh,
I'm
go ahead,
sorry.
please. Go ahead, please.
I just wanna take the time live, and I've told you this offline, but period. I just want to say that I'm so proud of you
Thank
for your work, for your consistency. Like, literally, just take this moment to absorb this love that I want to give you because you have truly been so consistent in your work, and it is hard to continue to push forward when them numbers ain't looking right, when the
Mhm.
people is talking shit in the TikTok comments, when there's so many different obstacles and things that the reality is showing us, but continue to live in the clarity of your spirit and creating beautiful things and platforms and spaces for us to share our creativity and share our gifts. It's an honor to be here with you, and I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you so
Truly.
much.
Yes, yes, my friend.
That was so sweet. You see
Yes,
how
my friend.
it's so awkward for me to take, like,
I know it's hard, right? Which is why I needed to do it. You
I
need to
appreciate
absorb
it.
that.
I appreciate it so
Yeah.
much. I am so happy that I'm doing this still. And and I'm happy to know, like, enough people who are cool enough and smart enough, like me, who can come on here and
Yes.
yap and,
Yes.
speak things of substance.
Yes.
I appreciate it. And yeah, um, reminder, guys, I uploaded my Stream University application video. If you haven't watched it, please go watch at It's Your Girl Asia on any of my platforms. Thank you, Margella, for the gifts. Make sure y'all go watch. Wish me luck for streaming you. And even if I don't make it into Stream University, well, let me say this before I even close out. I do want to say, like, for the all the people that are um uploading their applications for Streamer U. Like, I see so many great ones. Y'all are, like, amazing. And to all of the people who are, like, naturally creators and creatives, I'm doing this because I love it, right? Because I'm passionate about it. And you're gonna see me do a bunch of other creative things over the next few years because I just have a passion for creating.
Yes.
So, I think that there's some people who see stuff like Stream University and they feel like it's like a make or break thing, and they feel like and other people I see, even people who went, are trying to attach someone's success or worth to a streaming university, like,
Mm.
"Oh, if you don't make it or if you waste your time or if you don't utilize the opportunity to your fullest potential, you are
Trash.
you're just trash,
Yeah.
right? You should just forget about it." And I think that streaming university is a great thing. It's a very cool experience and a very great opportunity. But I think for people who truly are creators, we are doing this shit whether a streaming university exists or not.
Exactly.
And so I want people to remember again, I'm only speaking to if you're truly a creator. Don't get too attached in these like opportunities and all of this stuff. If you shoot the ball and it misses, fine. You'll get another opportunity. But I want people to the people who are not really creators and they're just looking at they just started streaming because of Stream University or they're just doing shit just because it's a trend. I'm not talking to those people, right? Those people are gonna do that regardless. But I've been streaming, I've been doing this shit for a year and 6 months prior before I actually even started. I was planning this very thoroughly, all of my content out. I'm a true creative. I'm a storyteller. I like to uplift and motivate and guide people. And so I'm going to do that regardless. So I want to make a clear distinction between like someone like me
Yeah.
and other people like me who I'm a creator. So I don't feel I don't feel too attached to an opportunity like a streamer you or even collaborating with certain people or getting certain names on my platform because I I I got this. Like just me being me and doing this is enough.
It's more than enough.
This is my purpose. I've been recording and editing videos since I was a child. You know what I'm saying? So like I just want to make sure I'm separating myself from like, no, I really am gonna create and I'm really trying to
Yes.
like bring back community and connect with people through conversation, through relatability. And so yeah, I just want to make that very clear that you are looking at two genuine creatives.
Yes.
We are not hopping on shit for trends. We are not going to feel like we're a failure because we missed out on a certain opportunity or because we're not in this room or not collaborating with this person or this person didn't acknowledge us. No, we fucking love we have amazing minds and we
Yes.
also create
Genius
genius minds and
minds.
we create amazing art that
Yes.
people also love and can attach to and can relate to. And so
Yes.
and there's plenty of other people like that as well, but I just
Yes.
want y'all to understand that there is a difference.
There is a huge
So
difference.
that's what this episode is about and me celebrating me doing this for 1 year because I'm really fucking proud of it, and I'm very
Yes.
excited for, like, thousands and thousands of other people to be just as excited about it once they find out about me and they find out about my content. I just want y'all to like, this is a celebration of me truly finding myself as a creative and actually making content that represents who I really am. It's the most authentic content I've ever made. So, just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to make it clear, you know, I'm
If you
different. I
don't
really
know, now you know,
now you
nigga.
fucking know, okay? Um, you said you don't really like social media. Do you wanna tell them kinda
I
where to
mean, I'm
find
on
you?
my socials. I have accounts, so you
Do
can
you wanna
follow them, and I'll be back eventually. I'm just like, this is my act of like, what's the word I want to use? Defiance. This
Okay.
is my act of defiance against all of the bullshit happening in the world, choosing to step away from the social constructs and the social media and the
Mhm.
spaces that people create to make us feel like we have to live in a continuous loop of
Mhm.
irregulated nervous system and consumption
Yes.
that does not belong. Anyway, so my social medias are just at TheAdrian Jstn. That's on everything. Or you could just go on Google and type in my name, ADRIAN JSTN, and literally everything that can follow me on or can see me on will be right there for you.
Lovely. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being at my celebration episode. I can't
Yeah.
wait to do this for my second year, and then my third
Third
year, and my
year.
fifth year, and then my 10th
Exactly.
year. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and yapping with us. We
Yes.
had a
I did
time.
some yapping today.
We had a time,
Yes.
and I appreciate you being here with
Thank
me.
you.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Go watch my Stream University application video. Pretty please. Follow me on everything. And I will see you guys Monday. For real this time. For a Monday stream, probably. But I'll definitely will see you next Thursday for a new episode, okay? Thank you.